Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the empath power and how you build the foundation of it and step into your power, especially if you're an empath and highly sensitive person who has been through a relationship with a narcissist. Well, I'm sure many self-care tips can help you and make you feel more powerful. If you don't have a foundation of it, you're not going to go very far, and some of what is needed to build this may surprise you, so watch this video till the end. Now, if you're anything like me, you must have felt that something was off in your relationship with a narcissist, even at the start of it, but you probably turned a blind eye on it, gave them the benefit of the doubt, and invested little by little, and one thing led to another. And we all know how that story ends, so I'm not going to repeat what I expect you to know if you're on my channel, because this is the aftermath of the narcissist experience. And while I believe this channel will and can help you if you're fresh broken up with a narcissist by providing you this big picture, I strongly advise you to learn about narcissism and on other channels that explore this topic in detail, and you absolutely have to process that and feel all the rage, feel all the anger. It's just, I don't think there's a way around it, to be honest, and I wouldn't advise you to suppress those emotions. And I'd be happy to have you here on the channel if this resonates with you, of course, but please don't neglect that part as well, because it's an important thing to learn about. And yeah, at some point you will just wonder why is this happening in the world, and this is where my channel comes in. I just think we have to take responsibility for this. And sure, please listen to this if you like it and if you resonate with it, but please don't neglect that part that you have to absolutely process this. And if everything is fresh, you're just too, I would say partial, but not in the negative sense. I would say just vulnerable and maybe not in the state to hear this, even though this is not anything negative for you. Just please be aware of this. Now, my question is, are you now, after all of this, listening to yourself? I believe building your empath power starts with this question. Are you abandoning yourself? So us empaths have this pattern of people-pleasing, overgiving, oversensitivity, and reacting instead of responding, feeling depleted and then exhausted, and in the end probably left all alone. And some of us are classic rescuers and nurturers, sacrificing to the point of not even recognizing who we are anymore. Like, aren't we angels and saints, right? But to the point where it reaches martyrdom and we don't even recognize it, right? Well, this is exactly where we can slip in the victim narrative, and that's not great. And I really believe we are stronger than that. And this is not to say that all of these qualities that I mentioned are not positive. They are, but if they benefit all sides, you see what I mean? So in most cases, there is no balance there. Like, we just go too far in this and we basically forget ourselves and our own needs. And what narcissists do, they amplify this basic lack of self-respect and self-love, this self-abandonment. They bring it to light, and they are its direct shadow counterpart in the form of their vanity, overindulgence in what seems to be self-adoration and acting as one better than, as well as their carelessness, oblivion, and absolute neglect of others. And a relationship with a narcissist is the empath's initiation to strength and bringing power to consciousness by amplifying your sensitivity and by seemingly and temporarily making your best strength into your worst enemy. And for this same reason, I consider narcissists actually weaker insofar as they're mismanaging their own power. They're using it in wrong ways and bringing consequences that make them weaker, not stronger. They are also too far, but at the opposite end of the spectrum, and compared to us empaths, right? So their ego is super fragile for this reason. I can say that our end of the spectrum actually brings us humility. Well, too much of it if you understand the point of this video, but they don't have any on their own end, so they cannot reach this level of sensitivity and awareness, right? I guess we can say that we empaths are agile in that sense, and they are inflexible, like breaking and crackling and I mean, just imagine that internal feeling of inadequacy that makes them do what they do. Imagine that lack of sensitivity coupled with lack of awareness that you lack it, and what that brings about. And of course, blaming others for it, right? And this would and will happen to us if we continue with our old ways and don't explore our shadow, and we'll just end up victims and blaming whoever. We have to explore this and ask what positive qualities are kept hidden there in this shadow. If we're not aware of this, we'll continue to mismanage our power and possibly blame the narcissist for it, and I really think we have to take responsibility. So in my next videos, I will speak about what exactly are these positive traits that you as an empath have to develop in order to balance yourself and stop projecting their shadow counterparts outside, attracting narcissists and ripping the world of your amazing talents. So please stay tuned. And even if you're not aware that you're doing this, the narcissism epidemic state of the world we are in now, and that I talked about in my last video, proves we as empaths have to take action. High time. We have to strengthen ourselves and balance internally before we can affect the outside and manifest balance externally. So how do we start? All right. I can already hear like, what the hell do I myself have to become a narcissist? What? 1, no, and 2, you cannot even if you tried. Sorry. So the first step is building your empath power foundation, which I believe is definitely founded in detachment. And there's a huge value I see in detachment as an empath. And what I mean by this is that we absolutely have to take responsibility for our inner part and for our discernment of what's going on in the moment. Whenever you are in a situation, when you're triggered, when you're emotionally triggered and feeling vulnerable, the first step is to become aware when and where is this happening. Where are you losing your power? When you start paying attention to your body and to yourself, you will start getting that feeling that you're just leaking somewhere, that your self-control is going off rails, right? And this is what I mean by detachment. But in order to do this, there's a whole mindset behind it. There's a whole these different traits that I talked about that I'm gonna film videos about and talked about them. But there's also the whole mindset and the whole belief in your power, in prioritizing what's inner over the outer. And that takes a huge amount of courage and of self-esteem, actually. And in order to do that, I think most of us empaths are a bit woo-woo and it wouldn't be a problem for us, but you have to believe that there is a point behind this. You have to believe that there is your soul in this, and that there is, if you believe in God, then go with it. It's just, you have to have faith that this makes sense and that you also are co-creating this world and that you are responsible for your own part, for your own part of the bargain with God or whoever you believe, but just knowing this bigger picture and not allowing your energy to leak. And this is step-by-step practice. Trust me, it's not something that you're gonna develop like in a day or two. It's just the constant noticing and listening to yourself and not abandoning yourself, respecting what you feel, respecting what you need. And I mentioned this already, like all those self-care practices and routines definitely help. Meditation and whatnot. But trust me, this is why this gray, if you haven't heard of gray rock method, this is basically how you get rid of your narcissist, because they're preying on your emotional reaction. They're actually preying on your vital life force, your life energy. And when you're not providing it to them, when you turn gray rock, like basically you're not reacting, you're just one dull line, not providing any whatsoever intensity, any energy, just, being so flat, a flat line of being totally, how should I say it, spiceless for them. But you see what I mean. And this requires developing your self-esteem, developing your self-respect, a tremendous amount of courage, and I definitely believe it's worth it. I am actually myself fighting for this because I honestly believe if we empaths step up and take this action and become conscious of it, we will create a better world. Basically, this is staying in the moment and not assigning meaning to what is happening and creating scenes in your head. It's just being so clear and discerning what's going on in here. And if you're losing your balance, or even it may at some points it may go to the other end where you're realizing, oh my God, I'm not being fair to the other person, right? And it's just you're responsible for staying this discerning and this calm and in the moment and keeping the boundaries both yours and not stepping over somebody else's boundaries. And if respect is not served and you are sure you're giving respect, give notice and then leave. This may sound cold or heartless, or it may even sound impossible if you're imagine like if you're at a job and your survival depends on it. But trust me, your mental health goes first and your self-respect goes first, and that's how you build your self-esteem and trust in yourself, and nothing can compare to that. And as I mentioned, it's not a single trait. It may seem hard to develop, but it's day by day, and every day you can do something about it. And I will try to help out with this channel by filming the videos on the traits and how you do that, and to share my own journey. It's a whole bunch of traits and actions and the whole specific mindset behind it. And if you haven't yet, please watch my videos from video 1 because it provides the broader context to this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for investing your time. And if you like this video, if you resonate with it, please like, subscribe, and share it so we can spread the word and be together on this mission. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video soon. Take care.